we have a reaction that's coming in from Tarique Rahman's advisor, Nadi Amin. Let's quickly listen in to what he had to say.
অবগত আছেন যে বিএনপি চেয়ারম্যান আমাদের নেতা জনাব তারেক রহমান তার দুটি নির্বাচনী আসন বগুড়া 6 এবং ঢাকা 17তে ইতিমধ্যে বেসরকারিভাবে বিজয়ী হয়েছে আলহামদুলিল্লাহ। আপনারা আরো অবগত আছেন যে গতকাল রাত থেকে আমাদের রাজনৈতিক প্রতিপক্ষ বিভিন্ন ধরনের কারচুপি, জালিয়াতি, কেন্দ্র দখল সহ নানা অপরাধে সম্পৃক্ত ছিল।
Indrajit back with us on the broadcast. Indrajit, as you were mentioning, if we look at, of course, these were unprecedented circumstances, these very elections that had to take place post the ouster of Sheikh Hasina in 2024. But those elections that had taken place in 2024, if we just take a look at how things had panned out then, BNP had refused to take part, despite being the main opposition party there in Bangladesh. They'd refused to take part in the elections. It boycotted the elections then. And the Awami League had, in fact, led by Sheikh Hasina, of course, had a sweeping victory in Bangladesh. Just 2 years later, we see an election that's being held with Awami League not even being allowed to take part in the very polls. And this time it is, the tables have turned and it is BNP that seems to be having that sweeping victory in Bangladesh.
Well, absolutely. The tables have turned, but essentially Bangladesh politics or the character of Bangladesh politics remains the same. It continues to remain a bipolar contest. Earlier it was the Awami League versus the BNP, and now it's the BNP versus the Jamaat in the absence of the Awami League, as you just said. Interesting, Shriya, of course, to note that even though the BNP has claimed victory, they are saying that they are well poised for a 2/3 majority, which is a very, very handsome number in this 300-member Bangladesh Jatiya সংসদ. But the party leadership has said that there's going to be no celebration. You must remember that the BNP has been trying to use the sentiments, the emotions in its own favor. Once Tarique Rahman came back to Bangladesh, it was Khaleda Zia, the long-term matriarch of the BNP, the former prime minister. She has been ailing. Then she passed away. She breathed her last, and there was a huge outpouring of support and grief from the armed janta, from the masses in Bangladesh. And the BNP felt that they will be able to use or channelize that mass grief and spontaneous support in its favor. That perhaps seemed to have worked for the party, and therefore, as a mark of respect to Khaleda Zia, the BNP has stated that none of their supporters will be out on the streets doing victory rallies. Rather, it's Friday today, so all their supporters would be joining the Jummah, the Friday namaz, and they would be praying for the soul of Khaleda Zia. And we are expecting to hear from Tarique Rahman sometime later in the day, once the Election Commission officially declares these results sometime later in the day.
Absolutely. Indrajit, do stay with us. Let me just quickly take our viewers through some more details of what exactly has happened so far on the election, on the polling day itself. That was February 12th. Now, Tarique Rahman's BNP is seemingly heading towards a thumping majority as per Bangladesh media, and we can see the early numbers, in fact, the early trend suggesting the same. The Bangladesh Nationalist Party has crossed the majority mark in Bangladesh's 13th National Parliamentary Election. Tarique Rahman, son of former Prime Minister Khaleda Zia, returned from 17 years of exile last year and is being hailed for his party's performance. He's now the front-runner to becoming the next Prime Minister of the country. Meanwhile, the chief of Bangladesh's Islamist Jamaat-e-Islami Party, Sheikh Rahman, has said his party will not be engaging in politics of opposition but pursue positive politics. Apart from the parliamentary polls, Bangladeshis voted in a referendum on reforms drafted by the caretaker government led by Muhammad Yunus. Key proposals include prime ministerial term limits, stronger checks on executive power, and safeguards to prevent parliamentary power consolidation. So these are the details that we have for you of the polls that have been underway, that have concluded and counting having begun, and early trends already giving BNP the lead. Getting Indrajit back into the conversation here. Indrajit, if we just take a look at the elections in the context of what's just happened in the 19 months ever since Sheikh Hasina was ousted from the country. We've taken a look at a Bangladesh which has been on edge. What exactly will Tarique Rahman's first challenge as the Prime Minister, once officially, of course, it gets declared, be at this point of time? Because, as you're saying, they will not be having political rallies to celebrate the very win. Fair. But right now, given all of the issues that Bangladesh is grappling with, safety and security being right at the top of that list, what will be his biggest challenge?
Well, you're right, Priya. Safety, law and order situation, and the situation of the Bangladesh economy. These are challenges right before Tarique Rahman. And what a fascinating journey it has been. Somebody who was always known to be the political scion, the one who would be handed over the political legacy. There was various corruption charges against him, serious ones at that. And Tarique Rahman left the country. He was living in exile and he was leading the party from London. And then he makes a comeback. So the wheel seemed to have turned a full circle. At the same time, it's also, in a sense, a turnaround in Bangladesh politics, a generational shift in Bangladesh politics. For several decades now, it was ruled by two women, Sheikh Hasina and Khaleda Zia, both of whom are absent in these elections. Khaleda Zia has, of course, breathed her last. Sheikh Hasina is in exile right now in India. So the baton has been handed over to the next generation. So as far as the BNP is concerned, it's Tarique Rahman who took over the reins of the party. He is now the chairman of this party. His election has his party has won the election. He's well poised to become the prime minister now. On the other hand, in exile and the entire leadership in exile, the Awami League's leadership is also looking for a regime, a generational change, with Shaji Wajid Joy, Sheikh Hasina's son, now taking the mantle up and making public appearances on behalf of the Awami League. And he has the task cut out to reinstate Awami League the way Tarique Rahman has been able to do in the mainstream politics of Bangladesh. So it's a generational shift. Tarique Rahman has his task cut out. The voting percentage, as far as these elections are concerned, are also very, very crucial. That's a key indicator of the public sentiment and the mood, because all through yesterday, every polling station that I went to, Sriya, there were massive, turnouts. And that shows the eagerness of the people, because over the last 2 years, we've seen a lot of uncertainty, a lot of violence that led to the regime change in August 2024. So people want stability, political stability, economic stability. They don't want this day-to-day law and order situation, clashes between students and police and other situations. So therefore, Tarique Rahman will really have his task cut out as he takes over as the new Prime Minister of Bangladesh.
Definitely. Challenges are plenty at this point of time when we speak of Bangladesh and the stability that the nation requires at this given point of time. Indrajit, just stay with us.